So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about coasting and how to avoid it. Coasting is when you're driving for a long period of time in neutral, and there's different ways of doing that. You can either be in neutral, as in gear in neutral, or you can have your clutch down as well, which means you're also in neutral. And I'll show you what I mean down this hill here. So normally if you're going down the hill, you should really be in gear. So right now it's in third, but if I press the clutch down, this is coasting now, because I don't need the clutch right now and the car's picking up speed. And to avoid this, or to counteract that, I can actually fix it. I can bring up the clutch smoothly, and then now the gear is engaged, and then the speed stabilizes now. Another way you can coast is just going into neutral, so going from 3, just now I'm not in any gear, and it has the same effect as putting the clutch down, and again the speed will pick up now. And to avoid this, you should be in gear. So once you realize you're in the wrong gear or you're neutral, you can actually select a gear, and this way you can feel the engine kind of taking control of the car again and controlling the speed. So when you come into a stop like this, you need to press the clutch down quite early, especially if you're on a high gear like 3 or 2. And that's not the same as coasting. A lot of learners get this idea that they don't want to coast at all, so they avoid pressing the clutch, and then they end up with the car shaking or sometimes even stalling because they're so afraid of coasting. There's a big difference between coasting and then actually using the clutch when you need to. So like now, for instance, in traffic, if I'm coming to a stop, I'll need to use the clutch at some point, and that's not really coasting because I need to use the clutch, otherwise the car will stall. So like now I'm coming into a stop, I can press the clutch down and come to a nice gentle stop. That's not coasting there. A common mistake a lot of learners make is coasting into a turn, so they'll do something like this. This is not very good because right now I've got no power, and then when I bring the clutch up again, sometimes it might be too much, or sometimes the car might even stall because you're in the wrong gear. To avoid that, really you should just be in gear as you're going around the corner. So like I'm going to turn this left here, I'm not going to press my clutch, I don't need it. I'm going to have my foot near it in case I need to stop, because it's quite hidden and it's quite a blind corner here, but I didn't need to press it. I just had my foot near the clutch, but then I didn't need to use it. And then also, if you want to change gear before you've actually turned into a new road, you can do that without coasting. So I'm going to turn this left here, so mirror, signal, then I'll change gear nice and early. So I'll change to 2. Actually, let's change to 1 because it's quite a sharp bend. Change to 1, and then I can bring my clutch up before I make the turn. So now my gear is controlling how fast I go, so I'm not coasting into the corner. If I was to coast into there, I might end up going too fast and lose control. So the idea is to change gear before you get to the turn, and then actually bring the clutch up before you make the turn. So right now, if I was to coast down this hill now, so the revs go down, but my speed will actually start to increase because I'm coasting down this hill. So to kind of counteract that, to save myself, I'm going to brake a bit and then bring my clutch up smoothly. So you see, that's why coasting is not a good idea, because the car can easily go out of control, especially if you're not experienced.